also gave the American a message that if the fight is going to continue, you know, it would be very hard for the Americans to stand by the Israelis for a long time.
Right.
And they will lose their position in the Middle East.
Definitely.
You know,
yeah.
with their strategic allies. So the Saudi Arabia, the Gulf states, linked with that, the petrol and all the resources, you know, that the Western and the United States get the benefit from this area.
Yeah.
So they asked the Israelis, you know, to be moderate and to accept and to give up their illusion and their vision of capturing areas and establishing settlement here and there. So I think the President Sadat was very clever, and he read the
far-sighted vision.
Exactly, exactly. And he has this foresight, you know, which was
He could read between the lines.
which was unique in the way he conducted the peace process.
Right. General, if we're talking about moments after the crossing, and now we have achieved something and achieved tangible success on solid grounds, what's after that? How were moments after the crossing on the battlefield?
Yeah, a lot of things, of course. The fight, the real fight, you know, the confrontation between the main...
when they realized that, I mean the Israelis, that it happened, how was the reaction?
It was a shock for them. They tried everything to restore...
So panic among the commanders?
Yes, they were in panic, you know, we realized that. And even the soldiers we captured, you know, you can see the surprise in their eyes. What had happened, you know, they believe that they are in the Egyptian hands. You know, and the Egyptian soldiers surrounding their strongholds.
Right.
You know, so but you know when we
the raising of the flag here.
Yes. This is a very unique moment.
Very precious moments.
And there was some other important moment when we received a message from the headquarters that our colleagues in the Third Army had captured or destroyed or make some success here or there.
Right.
And this, you know, had been addressed to our troops. And when we send the message, when we send the message on the early hours in, at the 8th of October, that Kantara is now in our hands.
Right.
And this message had been transferred to the Third Army and the armed forces everywhere. So these things, you know, make us happy, will make us self-confident that we can continue, we can make more success here and there and achieve our goal.
Yeah.
And really, the spirit in that time was great, and even we received some casualties, you know, because the differences between the armies, as I told you, and because the Israelis tried to arrange what we call it a counterattack, you know.
Face-saving solution.
Yes, at the 8th and the 9th of October.
Right.
So, but they received a lot of casualties. They failed to make any penetration to
How did the
our
8th of
bridgehead.
October, which is while we're commemorating today is the 8th, how did it pass by our commanders and our units?
Sorry?
The 8th of October, how did it pass by our commanders and units? I mean, amidst this sense of challenges that they face.
We were able to capture a bridgehead out to the east with 9 or 10 kilometers. And we were well organized, and our units hold their position very strongly and very decisively, and we were ready to meet the challenges we are going to face, because it was our assessment that the enemy, after the mobilization, he will arrange for the reserves, he will launch a counterattack, and he pushed the 162 division and 143 division. The first commanded by General Adan, and the second commanded by General Sharon. And both of them, starting from the early hours on the 8th of October, launched the counterattack in the front of the 18th Division and the 2nd Division. And this counterattack failed, conducted by General Adan. He failed to reach or to restore their position on the bank. And he received a lot of casualties. And General Sharon had been accused not assisting General Adan in his counterattack. There was a quarrel, there was a dispute, there was differences between the commanders. Yes, and you can see that this cause between General Gunen, the commander of the front in Sinai, and General Sharon. And General Sharon, was very very severe in replying on him and not obeying him. And he said, I'm not ready, I have a lot of casualties, I can't achieve your order. So please, let me alone.
Martyrs who really paid with their blood and drew chapters of pride and dignity. Lots of stories that we do have.
Yes, really.
If we would mention a name or two that will ever remain memorable in the history of the nation during October.
I will never forget this man called Rez Abd Razzeq. He was just a soldier carrying an RPG. He would the first shot at the tanks, and he hit the first tank. The armored reserve behind Kantara were 4 tanks and 2 armored vehicles. So the first one, he hit the first one with 2 shells. And he make a ground maneuver and hit the second one. And he hit the second one on the top of it. And after that, the attack was stopped, blocked, because the first one had been hit. And the others were standing, in the central of the ambush, our ambush, our soldiers and our officers here in that time, making ambush, and they start shooting at the armored reserve, and they hit 3 tanks and 2 armored vehicles. But the fourth tank were just in the rear column, and they start shooting at our position. And Rez Abd Razzeq received a direct shells, and he passed away. So he was very brave, he was very strong, and he enabled us, to stop the armored reserves and to destroy it. So he was very brave, and when we were fetching in his pockets, you don't find his wallet, and we pegged out a picture, a family picture, his wife and a small kid with a few months, with just a few months. He was the first kid, for him.
Those are the heroes, those are the martyrs who made the victory and left a legacy for us today.
And some other heroes, when we continue our fight after that in the depth of in Baluza area and on the coastal part of the front, east Port Said, and in the Gap when we were fighting the Israelis in the Gap. A lot of stories to be told, But there is our soldier of the 6th of October. They proved their genuine metal as Egyptian. And we do feel proud of those people, and I wish their stories to be told to everybody.
Definitely you told their stories also to other colleagues abroad. So and the news of Egypt's victory in October, how was it received abroad?
Really, when I went to the United States and in my studies in England, in RCDS, what you call it? This is the best college, the best college for strategic studies in the world.
It's in England.
In England, They always asked us about what had happened, and they told us we knew a lot of things from the Israelis' point of view, but we didn't hear from the Arabs. So can you tell us why you launched this attack and how you planned to cross the canal and to make this wonderful surprise? And I told them the stories, and they were admired, and some of them senior rank, and they told me that you have to feel proud of what had happened, because we know the differences between you and the Israelis. And we know very clearly that the Israelis enjoy the support, the full support of the United States.
Definitely, concerning capabilities and armament and everything.
So what you succeed to happen and to achieve in this war, something great, and you should feel proud of it.
Definitely, it is. Well, messages usually in October, and when the memory of the 6th of October, we remember the youth and the future of Egypt. Today is October is correlevant also with the sense of development of the country. So always the youth need a sense of example to follow. What messages would you send to them today, General Abd Razzeq?
I do believe that we really misused the victory of October, where we failed to transfer this feeling to the youth through our educational system, our cultural system. I don't know why. There was
how can we make it out of the box? I mean, how can we think of achieving this sense of belonging to October with all its glory, but thinking of doing it out of the box?
It is international lesson everywhere, how to maintain the loyalty of the youth. Because we were the soldier of October War, and the youth may be the soldier of any fight in the future. So we have to repair them. We have to transfer our feeling as the soldier of October War to those, to feel proud, to feel their genuinity as Egyptian. We have a long and deep history. Our history is great. So the October victory, something good to be added to our previous victory. So it is a cultural feeling should be transferred from generation to generation. And that must be the main role of the state, in the channel of media, in the channel of culture, in the channel of religion sensibility or whatever, just to maintain the youth from their beginning as small kids, to feel proud of their country, to know the first lesson they should be ready to
fight. The sense of belonging.
Defending of this territory. This territory is sacred element in our life. We are nothing without being Egyptian, without Egypt be safe and united. So this lesson should be planted very deeply in their heart and in their vision, and formed their determination, you know, to move on the path that we moved before.
Right.
Yeah.
General Hussein Abd Razzeq, one of the great heroes of October War, many happy returns on the occasion of the victory. God bless Egypt, God bless the Egyptian army.
Thank you, Tagreed. It was a pleasure to be with you and the audience. Many happy returns.
Thank you. Many happy returns, dear viewers, on the occasion of October War victory celebrations. Egypt is in celebration of days of glory, days of victory and pride. Many thanks for watching.